A black day for South Australia and indeed the nation. And my thoughts right now are with those workers and their families down there at the Holden's plant and the whole of the automotive sector here in South Australia. We've been fighting very hard to secure their jobs, and we're going to continue fighting for them every step of the way to make sure they're cared for now in these very difficult and devastating times, but also to ensure that they have a secure future, good, well-paid jobs, rebuilding a manufacturing sector in this state and in this nation. I'm particularly concerned about those workers who have heard the news today, and I'll be having further discussions with Mr Weatherill later this evening to make sure that they have all of the attention and care they need as they grapple with this difficult news. We know that this decision will affect up to 13,000 workers and their families in our state. It's devastating news for them. Prime Minister Tony Abbott and his government have shown a callous disregard for these workers and their families. By cutting funding to this industry, by the outrageous remarks that have been made throughout the course of this week, they have driven Holden's out of this country. I condemn Tony Abbott and his government for the decisions they've taken, for the way in which they've conducted themselves, for creating the most hostile possible environment for Holden to make its decision. Poignantly, today, Mr Weatherill said after yesterday, Holden's had all the information they need about their future investment decisions in this country. And the responsibility for this lies firmly at the feet of Tony Abbott and his coalition ministers, who had decided to make a policy choice not to support the continuation of Holden's in the country, and then dishonestly sought to shift responsibility for that to Holden's itself. Now, the social and economic cost of this decision will be enormous in South Australia and indeed the nation. And the federal government will have a massive price to pay. I've discussed with Victorian Premier Denis Napthine today the broad outline of support the federal government will be required to make to both the South Australian and Victorian communities. And I'll begin discussions about those matters with Tony Abbott tomorrow. I want to say something about what this means for South Australia. This, of course, is an enormous body blow for South Australia, not just economically but socially. But we've always demonstrated in South Australia that we can face adversity, overcome adversity and emerge stronger. That is what we will do here with this challenge, just as we've done with every challenge that's faced us throughout the whole of our history. We've carved out an existence for ourselves in the driest state in the driest continent. We have none of the natural advantages of other places. We're not near large population centres. But we've used our creativity, our industriousness, and we've created for ourselves one of the most civilised and prosperous communities anywhere in the world. We will respond to this challenge, we'll meet it, we'll overcome it, and we will emerge stronger.